The Vatican says it's working on evaluating the questions raised by the U.S. bishops this week in Baltimore. Cardinal Mark Willett didn't say much more when we asked for comment. He's the head of the Congregation of Bishops, and that's the Vatican office instructed the American bishops to delay voting on steps to address clergy sex abuse. Vatican Correspondent Juliet Linley joins us from Rome. Juliet, the brief message from the Congregation of Bishops really doesn't give any insight as to why the Vatican issued that instruction. So what are you hearing?
Lauren, according to experts here, some of the proposals made by the U.S. bishops may not have been in line with canon law, to the law of the Church. So while the request by the Vatican for a delay in voting on abuse measures seemed perhaps abrupt, analysts say the Vatican has the right to do so. And in addition, the proposals were submitted to the Vatican at the end of October, so the timeline was very tight. But the decision to wait until next February for action on abuse is ruffling a lot of feathers in the U.S., as you know, Lauren.
Yes, absolutely. You know, that's why I want to know what you know about the gathering of bishops that the Pope has convened for February in 2019. What are you hearing that we can expect?
So the summit is set for February 21st to 24th. Pope Francis decided to bring together bishop leaders from around the world to talk specifically about sex abuse. Some experts say it's a sign that he's keen to show it's a priority for the Church. And the question, Lauren, is how much focus will be put on accountability, in other words, punishing bishops when they fail to protect their flocks from predator priests or fail to live chastity. Now, also, many wonder whether specific sanctions will be drawn up. And there's also the question of whether review boards made up of lay experts will be proposed to investigate allegations of abuse globally. They're a feature of American dioceses, as you know, Lauren, but they're by no means the norm around the world.
Just a few weeks ago, you and I were talking about another gathering of bishops that wrapped up. It was the synod focused on young people. Did anything concrete come from that as it relates to clergy sex abuse?
Lauren, the bishops who gathered at the Vatican last month for the synod heard directly from young people who said clergy sex abuse is a big issue in their view. They spent a fair amount of time discussing and reaffirming the Church's commitment to rooting out predator priests, but the bishops didn't issue an official apology. Some analysts say because of the February summit that was coming up just a few months later, Lauren.
I know many Catholics are looking for answers and solutions to come out of the Vatican. Thank you so much, Juliet Linley, EWTN News Nightly Vatican correspondent.
Thank you, Lauren.